Welcome, everyone, to the capacity-filled Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Game 2, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Los Angeles Lakers. And here are tonight's Gatorade starting lineups. The Portland Trail Blazers, who lost Game 1, 106-93, go with Pippen, Wallace, Sabonis, Smith, and Stoudemire. And the Los Angeles Lakers with Fox, Grant, O'Neal, Bryant, and Derek Fisher. Kevin Harlan alongside Hall of Fame coach John Thompson and NBA All-Star Danny Ainge. Danny, the Blazers have their hands full tonight here in Los Angeles.
Well, they need Wallace to dominate. He's continued to dominate, I should say, but they need some help. Scottie Pippen's got to have some flashbacks. Damon Stoudemire's got to play like Mighty Mouse, run all over the court and look to create.
And John, there's been a lot of talk about Shaquille O'Neal and how physical he was in Game 1 against the Blazers.
All that is, Kevin, is positioning of officials. You're not going to stop Shaquille with talking because you're talking about a guy that's 300 pounds, 350, I might add. You're not going to stop him by talking, but everybody's positioning the officials. The players have to be smart and get a read on how the officials are going to call as a result of that and play intelligently.
And let's check in with the fourth member of our crew tonight, Craig Sager.
Well, thank you, Kevin. It's more than just talk. The Portland Trail Blazers took Game 1. They dissected it. They edited certain sequences together. They sent a tape to Stu Jackson, Director of Operations. They asked certain questions. What do you want us to do? How do you want us to guard Shaquille O'Neal? We cannot keep our position. You're making calls against Sabonis, who is standing still. All they got back was a comment that we looked at the tape. However, the officiating crew also got a tape of Game 1. They also got words from the officiating crew and a message with points of focus tonight. And one of the points of focus is they are not going to tolerate any strong turns. You cannot turn and knock anybody over. Kevin?
Thank you, Craig. There is a veteran crew officiating tonight. Ronnie Nunn, Steve Javy, and Derek Stafford, as good as it gets. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. Rick Fox will throw on top to Kobe. John, what do you think about what Craig had to say?
I'm wondering about that strong turns. Anytime Shaquille O'Neal turns, it's a strong turn. If somebody's on his back, he's going to knock him over.
Danny?
I don't think anybody can guard Shaq. He's too big and he's dominant. That's why he's the best player in the league.
Derek Fisher with the miss, and the rebound is yanked down by Scottie Pippen, who did not step out of bounds, and Ronnie Nunn was right there. There goes Pippen, slashing inside, tripped and fouled. He draws the foul. They call a charge, much to the chagrin of Portland coach Mike Dunleavy.
Well, I like the fact that Scottie is being aggressive going to the basket, but it looked like he tripped before he even left the ground. Like you said, Kevin, I do agree. I mean, this is the best officiating crew before a game starts that I've seen all year. So I think that the officials in the league know this is an important game.
Kobe Bryant with his first shot tonight, and it's right down the middle.
Well, that's a bad sign. You talk about Shaq inside. You're not going to be able to give much help on Shaq if he gets going outside.
Here's Steve Smith, who takes the place of the injured Bonzi Wells. Sabonis on top, and Pippen will work on Fox.
Sabonis has to be effective from the outside. The purpose of him being out there is to pull Shaq out of the lane so that he won't get help on somebody like Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed Wallace showing a lot of torque on that spin, is fouled inside by the Los Angeles Lakers, and Horace Grant, who picks up his first.
Well, you know, all I can say is if they're going to worry so much about Shaq right here, Rasheed Wallace, a great low post player in his own right. He just keeps backing in, makes a hard turn right there, and goes and dunks and gets the foul. So why can't Shaq do that?
Oh, you're absolutely correct. I mean, that's the only way you play in there with the intensity. Big guys have got to go up strong. They've got to be aggressive on the inside. Somebody's always on their back. Well, I mean, what's the heck? This is against all the big guys in the league.
John, you've said time and time again, when talking about the Blazers, and in particular about Rasheed Wallace, he is a player that needs to play with passion, and to harness that takes away his game.
Well, it definitely takes away his game because you're talking about one of the most outstanding players in the league in Rasheed Wallace. I mean, right now, it's a certain amount of intensity involved as a result of this being the playoffs. These officials are excellent officials, and I'm certain they realize that. They don't want it to get out of control, but you can't foul everybody out in the beginning of the game either.
Oh, but how easy was that play he just had? You know, Horace Grant, they brought him in to play defense, and Rasheed just dunked on him. I mean, that's just way too easy.
Here comes Kobe and a Laker foul. It's called on Rick Fox, and he picks up his first.
Well, Scottie knows that triangle offense. He knew the cut, and Fox hits the corner right here. As Kobe goes to the corner, Fox makes his cut. Scottie knows the offense better than anybody.
Damon Stoudemire to Pippen, back outside. Stoudemire launching a three. Rebound by Shaq, his first rebound tonight. Kobe streaks the other way. Bryant had 28 in game 1.
Most of those points came in the second half. He scored a lot of them in garbage time, but in the first half it was not effective offensively at all, but carried him down the stretch.
You saw the quick double on Shaq. Bryant down the lane with a spectacular move.
Well, that was particularly good because he went to the side of the box that Shaq was on, reversed with a backhanded right-handed layup.
2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Great move by Stoudemire. Fisher stuck with him. Ball knocked away. Shot clock down to 11. Scottie Pippen. Second shot won't go. And Wallace tries to vacuum it in, but finally it's grabbed off the ground by Grant. Ahead it goes to Kobe. Into Fox, who takes it. With a feed to Shaq, and the ball knocked away and out of bounds and off the Lakers.
Well, Kobe has such great quickness, but he's got great body balance and length. He goes up over the shot blockers, but great body control.
At the other end, Rasheed Wallace took it inside for 2.
Well, and he causes just as much of a problem, particularly because of the matchup. They have the big guy on Shaq, and Shaq is also playing him. So that leaves Rasheed Wallace in a position where he's going to be guarding a smaller person. He's agile, as well as the fact that he can be physical in the low post position.
Los Angeles Lakers just turn it over for the 3rd time in this first quarter. That was a carry.
Well, the Lakers cannot guard Rasheed Wallace on the post one-on-one. They don't have anybody that can do it, but the Blazers need someone else to really step up and have a good game offensively. And Sabonis needs to take that shot, and Shaq just camps out in the paint.
Pippen slithers down the baseline for 2.
Well, that's good. Scottie is in an offensive mode and an aggressive mode, and I think somebody for the Trailblazers has to take the initiative, particularly with Bonzi Wells being out, of trying to score.
Inside to Shaq. Gets good position there, and that is his game.
You can't do anything about that. That Sabonis did a good job right there. Make Shaq do the jump hook from about 8 feet. There's nothing else you can do. Hope he misses those.
And Dunleavy says they're going to double him every time he touches the ball tonight.
Well, and that's the result of his knowing that Shaq is too physical in the inside. That's why those memos are going to the office in the NBA, complaining about him being in the lane. That's an act of frustration. Shaq is impossible to guard once he gets the ball in his hands near the basket.
Stoudemire hits his first shot. Both teams shooting over 60% to begin the game.
And Derek Fisher tried to do the flop, one of the best in the league at taking the charges right there. I like the fact that Fisher sucked on the whistle.
That's what Shaq may do against that double team all night long.
Agile, mobile, and starting to become hostile.
Well, the problem is the double team came from the top, and Sabonis let it go away from the double team, so he only had to score on one guy.
Pippen to Wallace into Sabonis. Whacked and fouled inside by the Los Angeles Lakers.
You'll see right here, the trap is coming from the top side, and he goes away from the trap, and then Scottie Pippen doesn't even get a chance to help on Shaq. And right here, that's kind of deep. Right there, try to stay out of foul trouble, but make Shaq make shots.
Kobe's got 4. Shaq has 4 so far to start this game for Los Angeles. Smith across the lane. Pippen thought about 3. Drives in on Fox and finds 2.
Well, Scottie really is aggressive. Danny mentioned that earlier when he slipped, and he's absolutely correct that in order for this team to be effective, Scottie's got to become aggressive, Stoudemire's got to become aggressive offensively, and certainly Smith is capable of hitting the outside.
Winds up with a windmill. And you've always said his first quarters are the best quarters for him in any game.
And he shoots about 75% of his shots in the first quarter. Had 12 in game 1 in the first quarter. But Wallace right there was trying to help. Thought Stoudemire got picked off. Jumped a little side, gave a wide open lane.
Wallace the drive, and John, they open the door for him to go right down the lane.
Well, is he talented? I mean, you're talking about a guy that can go outside and shoot. You're talking about a guy that can post up and shoot and then also penetrate. Even before the game, he was out shooting left-handed jump shots out near the 3-second line.
Shaq inside. O'Neal now with a start of 3 of 3 from the field.
Well, they have nobody that can guard Shaq. I mean, he's just so dominant down there. And L.A. has nobody to guard Rasheed.
They're going to send another memo to the NBA, I'll tell you that. You let him catch the ball in the lane. You got to stop him from getting him somewhere.
Fox had it knocked away. Brought in by Wallace to Sabonis. A great passing big man, as you can see there, with the pinpoint throw to Steve Smith at the other end.
A pretty creative pass right there for the big man.
Well, and not only is he a good passer, Danny, you know, he knows what kind of pass to throw in what situation.
That's really impressive for a center.
Boy, center, come on, cut it out.
Both teams shooting over 66%. O'Neal inside, his first miss tonight. Halfway through the first quarter here in Los Angeles with Pippen working on Fox. The spin. Oh! Counted for two. What a shot by Scottie Pippen.
Well, Scottie Pippen, again, he's coming out aggressive, but I don't know how long he can maintain this. He's going to get awful tired keep having to carry this kind of a load.
One jaw-dropping play after another as Bryant picks up his second personal foul.
Well, Damon picks Wallace as he goes for the help, but Sabonis doesn't have enough lift to contest that dunk.
Fireworks in Los Angeles. The Blazers by 3.
I don't know what to tell my guys about Shaq, to be honest with you. I mean, every time he, he hits him with an elbow on his lead. I mean, he turns into you every time, and sits in the 3-second lane for 6 seconds, 5 seconds at a time. I mean, it's so frustrating for them, and yet they got to play through it. I mean, that's kind of tough on their part.
And tonight, the Portland Trail Blazers will have somebody on their bench with a stopwatch to time him how long he is inside that line.
Oh, that stuff is a bunch of bull. Let me tell you something. If I were a coach, I'd do the same thing that Mike Dunleavy is doing. Shaq is so difficult to guard. He's trying to create an atmosphere and a consciousness on the part of the official. He's trying to get calls before the game starts.
I'd go take a nap for about 4 months and wait till I can play a zone.
And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, further on that tape, one of the things they mentioned was in the past they thought that Shaquille O'Neal turned with his shoulder. Now he was including the elbow. Bob Whitson asked the league, you want a good game, don't you? Well, it's a much better game if you let Arvydas Sabonis guard Shaq instead of having 1-2 quick fouls on him and taking him out of the game. If this indeed is a foul on Sabonis, then what do you want us to do? How do you want us to guard him? So far, no foul on him so far. Well, pretty good game.
Well, how come the Lakers aren't saying, well, we can't guard Rasheed? He's too quick and he's too tall.
Rick Fox picks up his first 2. Steve Smith at the other end gets his first 2. Kobe Bryant has 2 fouls. Shaq has 6 points. Scottie Pippen has 7. Brian Shaw is in for the first time tonight, taking the place of the aforementioned Kobe Bryant.
The defense on the part of the Blazers has become a little bit more aggressive. That's what I like to see them to go. But that certainly wasn't a good example because you let Grant shoot an open shot, but they're pressuring more.
Grant's got 4 in.
Yes, Grant again, first quarter points. But here's the thing. I don't know if Portland's used to playing that kind of pressure defense. How much energy did they have? They haven't played that kind of pressure defense all year.
Scottie Pippen with 2. He has started 4 of 5. He's got 9 to begin the game for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Boy, this is the most aggressive. I said it before, I say it again. The most aggressive I've seen Scottie in a long time. And I think that's what Portland needs, particularly with Bonzi out. You need somebody to initiate and become very aggressive offensively.
Rick Fox fans on a 3-point try. It's off of Grant, off the Lakers, and back to the Portland Trail Blazers. 4 Laker turnovers already. Stoudemire wheels down low, jousting with Fisher, who picks up the foul for L.A. Fisher had a dynamite game 1, especially in the first half.
Well, Fisher gives them so much quickness, but you see Scottie, Fisher's trying to cut off Damon along the baseline right here. Just a little body contact, trying to clean the game up early.
Blazers shooting 75%, Los Angeles Lakers shooting 73%. Shaw guarding Smith. Wallace for 3. It looked like his foot was inside the line. Nonetheless, it's a 3 ball, and he has 6 for the game.
That guy does everything. I mean, Rasheed Wallace is truly one of the top 5 players in basketball from a talent standpoint, without question. Trying to figure out if it's a 2 or a 3.
I thought it was a 2-point shot. His foot locked inside that arc, it appeared.
I don't care what it was. I think he needs to send the representative over to talk to the officials. No, I hated that. My heart was in my mouth when I saw Rasheed go over there, Danny, to start to talk to the official about whether it was a 3 or a 2. Send somebody over to represent you, Rasheed, quickly.
Earlier tonight at Madison Square Garden in Los Angeles, the New York Knicks getting slaughtered by Toronto. That ties that series at 1 game apiece. They play again early Sunday afternoon. A lot of eyes on that game tomorrow on TNT. Miami and Charlotte. If Charlotte wins, they sweep the favorite in the East, the Miami, with Alonzo Mourning and with the healthy Eddie Jones. As Ronnie Nunn, a great college basketball player in his day out east, is over there checking with the official scores table. If it was a 2 or if it was a 3. It looked like it was
Scotty's
a 2-point
asking me
shot.
if it was a 2 or a 3. I told him 2. He goes, come on, we're down 1.
You act like he was pleading for you to give him the 3.
He needs to go plead with Ronnie Nunn, not with the TV.
And we're searching for the replay ourselves. See if we can spot it here.
Looks like his foot's behind the line from that angle. I shouldn't trust Kevin's eyes. From your angle, Kevin, I could see what you were thinking.
Horace Grant launching a shot. Rebound pulled down by Scottie Pippen. LA has the biggest series deficit right now of 7 points. Fox from Shaw bumping inside into Sabonis, coughed out of bounds. And Los Angeles Laker turnover number 5 already.
Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with the pace that they're playing. They're trying to push it out, get down. The ball's probably a little bit slippery now because of the fact that a lot of people are getting their hands on it. A lot of possessions at both ends right here.
Oh, Fox just ran into 700 pounds of body down there in the paint.
Here comes Wallace, picked up by Grant. Out to Sabonis with Fox late on the defense.
And that's what he has to do. If he is going to stand out at the top of the key all night and allow Shaq to just roam the paint, he has got to make him pay.
Or at least look for it, Danny. The other 3 times he didn't even look for it. Shaq, he wants to step up, but if he just gets in the passing mode, Shaq's going to stay deep.
Shaq inside. Pounded by Sabonis, who finally draws the foul as he tries to put the clamps on Shaquille O'Neal. As the Portland Trailblazers are on a 16-4 run right now. Sabonis picks up his first foul.
And Shaq is doing this to a guy that weighs 340 pounds himself. I mean, he's not the biggest guy on the court. Sabonis has him by a couple inches and probably weighs the same. But Shaq is a great player with great talent. It's not just his size.
First Laker free throw tonight. Offered by Shaquille O'Neal, who has been better at the free throw line of late, especially last month of the season.
Well, when he is better at the free throw line, he's absolutely uncheckable because nobody's going to come at him with the traps and aggressiveness. He gets fouled particularly hard, I think, for any player, regardless of his size.
Then he's got a coach that he hired after the All-Star break.
Yeah, and it's done well. I mean, he took some games off and probably spent a lot of time working on that free throw, but he does have a better touch at it. He missed those 2, but they both have a chance of going in. Early in the season, I couldn't believe when he made one.
Shaq inside with the miss. Volleyballed out to Fox. Another offensive rebound by the Los Angeles Lakers. It's Grant to Fox for 3.
Well, Fox was huge in the 4th quarter the other night with 7 points. And they're a nice run, but he starts making 3-point shots. That really opens it up for the Lakers.
Sabonis, Blazers have hit their last 7 consecutive shots. And Sabonis has hit 2 in a row from outside.
And he's taking them. That creates a problem, as we said earlier. Shaq's got to come out of there. And if Shaq comes out, that's going to leave Wallace to feast on the inside with whoever's guarding him.
Both teams are shooting high. 80% for the Blazers, 60% for the Los Angeles Lakers with 2.5 to play in the first quarter. It's Shaw with the spin and the shot.
I like how this game is going because with Portland, they're all playing aggressive offensively. Everybody's looking to score. And same with the Lakers. Great weak side cut by Bryant Shaq.
Smith down the lane. And a charge. His first tonight. Shaquille O'Neal has started hot, and the Lakers down 27-21.
We've lost a little identity when we're out on the court. And, you know, when I'm playing, we don't feel like a team that last year's team that was just running the court, playing hard, and just taking advantage of opportunities that, you know, the defense given us. And right now, we're not playing with that type of confidence.
He's playing well tonight. Scottie Pippen has 9 points, and it's been all good so far for the Portland Trailblazers. The Lakers have turned the ball over 5 times here in the first quarter. Shaq has 6 points. But Kobe Bryant has 2 early fouls, and he's been out about 3 minutes of this game so far. Craig, what do you have?
Well, Mike Dunleavy told his team, you're doing a great job. Stay aggressive on both ends of the floor. We've lost a couple of loose balls on rebounds because we've been aggressive. Don't worry about it. This is one of the best quarters we've had. Just keep it up.
They're going to have to continue to shoot like this against the Los Angeles Lakers.
And just keep attacking the basket. You know, they're challenging them. Everybody looks like they're going to shoot the ball. They're moving the ball, and then they're playing a very aggressive offensive game. And this is what the players. That's Damon's personality. Scottie loves to play that way. Steve Smith is a scorer. They have so many guys, but the reason their offense has lost their identity is because they add Sabonis, Shrimp, and Strickland late in the season. Sabonis hasn't played a lot of minutes, and they lose Bonzi Wells. That's significant changes.
Shaw to Fisher to Fox. Stoudemire, by the way, now with 4. Wallace with the mismatch on Fisher. Sabonis may have knocked it away and out of bounds, and indeed, it is off the Portland Trail Blazers.
I think Sabonis has played a very good game because he blocked that shot, but not only that, he has a great significance down at the other end because one of the reasons Trailblazers are getting to the basket is he just hit 2 shots at the top of the key. Shaq is no longer planted under the basket defensively. He has to come out on Sabonis.
Shot clock at 3. Sabonis is out. Dale Davis is in. Grant steps out of bounds. He was trying to reload, and he steps out, which accounts for the 6th Los Angeles turnover in the first quarter.
It'll be interesting to see now how Davis guards Shaq. He only played 9 minutes and fouled out in game 1, and Shaq just dominates him with his size. Plus, Shaq now has a free reign to double team when Dale Davis comes in. He does not respect his game offensively.
Why does Sabonis leave when he's playing so well?
Well, because he can't play a lot of minutes.
He needs an oxygen tank. That's why he left. See, this is where Shaq has to be careful because against Dale Davis, his strength is accentuated a lot more than it is against Sabonis. And what they complain to, the officials will watch. Anytime he turns, Dale Davis will go flying out of the way, and officials will call a foul much more quickly.
Portland has hit 8 of their last 9 shots from the field. A rebound by Fisher.
And you see Shaq, he wasn't even within 3 feet of Dale Davis from 12 feet from the basket.
Shaq inside off the Brian Shaw miss. 8 points in the first quarter for Shaquille O'Neal, coupled with 4 rebounds. Shot clock difference of 4 seconds. Game clock and shot clock as we wind down the first quarter. A lot of lead changes so far in the first. Back and forth we've gone. Stoudemire through the lane. Fox knocked it away. Grant tries to get it and does. With Fisher wide open from 16. Fisher gets his first 2. Stoudemire coughs it up. Good if it goes from Fisher, which ends the first quarter. Outstanding shooting by the Blazers, 72%. And Scottie Pippen led the way, 4 of 5 with 9 points and 3 rebounds. In the most important game of the season for the Blazers, in the words of their coach, Mike Dunleavy, they take a 29-25 first quarter lead. Before tonight's game, Shaquille O'Neal was named the winner of the 2000-2001 IBM Award. The award is determined by a computerized rating that measures a player's overall contribution to a team. O'Neal is the first repeat winner since David Robinson in 1995-1996. In New York earlier tonight, a 20-point win for Vince Carter with 22, Alvin Williams 23, and the Toronto Raptors over the New York Knicks, who are led by Kurt Thomas's 23. Game 3 with that series all tied now at 1 game apiece on Sunday. Great shooting first quarter so far here in Los Angeles. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Craig Sager. Stacey Augmon is checked in. Wallace's first shot of the second quarter is up and in, and he's got 10 to begin this game. He is playing just as he needs to play.
Yeah, but he only has 4 shots so far. They need to get him the ball every time down the court as easy as he gets shots.
Rod Strickland is now coming at the point. Stoudemire is on the bench. Kobe is back in, playing with the 2 fouls, and John hits again.
Well, one of the things, the Blazers are putting a lot of pressure up full court, but in their half-court offense, they've got to go out on the perimeter and put a lot more pressure on the ball. These guys are getting shots that are easy shots.
Robert Horry is also checked in for the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaw remains in the game with Fisher, and a whistle inside, and a Derek Fisher foul. Oh, make it illegal defense. An illegal defense blown on the Los Angeles Lakers. First tonight.
Well, they're trying to run a pick and roll to get Derek Fisher. I think if I'm posting up, I'd rather post up Bryant Shaw. Even though he's taller than Derek Fisher, Derek Fisher's a lot stronger and doesn't give up ground.
Blazers have led by as many as 9. Lakers had a big lead of 3 coming out of the first quarter. Inside, Stacey Augmon across the lane. Rebound is gobbled up by Shaw.
Stacey did a good job last year in the playoffs of posting up Kobe. Kobe has 2 fouls, and they need to try to attack him and get him in more foul trouble.
Shaq is doubled again. They push him out of his comfort zone. Here comes Bryant with a fake and a feed. Shaw inside to Ori, and Wallace won't go. Rebound O'Neal, torn away by Davis, and then Shaq gets the loose ball.
Portland has to box out. You can't let them take this much time to get a shot, particularly Shaq in there and didn't get a second shot, because that's what's going to happen. He's going to end up getting even a better shot.
Shaquille O'Neal with 10 points to begin the game for Los Angeles. A Laker foul on Bryant Shaq.
Well, Shaq is frustrated because he thinks he got fouled right here, and he's still talking, but right there, they just barely touched him across the arm, but he definitely got hit.
And Rasheed Wallace is asking for a technical foul on Shaq, if you can believe it.
Wallace set the all-time NBA single-season record for tees. A 3 by Wallace and a rebound inside by Davis. A good offensive board. There looked to be some pushing off inside. That was the first offensive rebound by the Blazers. Rod Strickland with his first shot. Ori takes it up and gives to Fisher.
I have to be concerned if I'm Mike Dunleavy. I'm shooting 72% in the first quarter, and I'm only up 2 right now, and there's a chance for them to tie it up.
Shaq inside.
And Shaq has been hacked on the last 2 shots right there. I mean, they're slapping his arms all over the place. But you know what I love about Shaq? He's going to just keep going. He's asking for the foul, but he's going to play harder and harder.
Well, impossible to guard. Single coverage, particularly if he gets the ball in his hands anywhere near the basket.
There's a foul called on Robert Ori, trying to manhandle Rasheed Wallace inside for the Blazers.
But Coach, just what Dale Davis can't guard him. He's just not strong enough to keep Shaq from catching the ball right at the basket, and they don't even have time to get down. You got to have a body out there that's stronger that can keep him off the paint.
Why do you think those memos went to the NBA office? It wasn't because he was pushing, it's because they cannot guard it.
Lakers are coming back from a 9-point deficit. It's Smith for 3. We're tied at 31. Offensive rebound, the second tonight by the Blazers. Hauled down that time by Rod Strickland.
See, LA is doing a much better job defensively on the perimeter of getting out and getting on people than the Blazers. The Blazers in half court are playing too loose.
Point-length pass. A look for Shaq, trying to keep his balance. Wallace is there. Fisher got it and contorts for 2. What a play! Rod Strickland hobbling after that play. And a timeout. Lakers have retaken the lead. Strickland took the brunt of that play with Fisher tapping it in. Lakers up by 2.
When we're down like that, we find ways to, you know, claw and scratch and do whatever we have to do to get back in the game. And tonight's game, we just let the thing snowball and we didn't really get back into it. So we're not really stunned. We're just disappointed with the effort that we gave, and you know, that's where we're at right now.
How tough is it?
Knicks and Raptors will play on Sunday. Saturday, it's a playoff tripleheader on NBC. Coverage starting at noon Eastern. Philly and Indiana in their Game 3. Utah could sweep Dallas with the win down in Texas at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. And San Antonio looking to do the same to Minnesota. The late game Saturday. All on NBC this weekend. We've had 10 lead changes here in the first half from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Portland Trail Blazers, as you see, a magnificent Laker run after they were down by 9. The Portland Trail Blazers hit the first shot of this second quarter. John, now they've missed their last 6 in a row.
Well, and I think this segment of the game will test the Portland Trail Blazers' mettle, because they came out with a ball of fire. Everybody was very aggressive offensively. Now the Lakers have answered them. They've got to respond right now. Everybody cannot get passive. They've got to still be just as aggressive with their play as they were earlier in the game.
Rod Strickland, who hobbled off the court after that break, is back out there and playing. And here's Scottie Pippen looking inside for Davis, who misses and is fouled. Inside, Robert Ori is tagged with his second. We go to Craig Sager.
Well, Rod Strickland came over to the huddle, and apparently he had twisted his ankle. The trainers came over and talked to him, and they said, hey, are you sure it's just a twist? He goes, yeah. When I went down, I thought it was worse than it was. I'm okay. I want to stay in. Kevin?
You know, the Lakers were supposedly Craig Sager after Rod Strickland, but Portland won that derby.
I'm not sure they won the derby.
They wanted him.
No. I mean, Rod Strickland's a great player, but I mean, I think just by adding Rod Strickland has been a disruption to their team. And all of a sudden, Greg Anthony.
That's what I was going to say. He's got it.
Davis again puts it up and in.
But since Davis and Sabonis went to the bench and Davis comes in, I think that it gives the Lakers more reign to run around and travel and trap. I mean, to trap. And it's harder for the Portland to score with Dale Davis on the court versus Sabonis.
Well, particularly as you indicated with Shaq, because now Shaq is dropping back off of him and cuts down the driving of the team.
Wow. Kobe Bryant has started 4 of 4 from the field. He's got 8 points. Davis, as Shaq gives him some breathing space. They go inside to Ogden. Not known as an offensive player. Wallace, little two-man game with Stacey Ogden, who draws a double. And Ori kind of ping-ponging back and forth between the two. Shaq gets the rebound. Ori for 3. Missed everything. Shaw there to get it. Kobe Bryant left midway through the first quarter with a couple fouls. Now back in. Fisher for 2. Wallace with the rebound.
Well, they haven't stopped Wallace on the post yet, and they do him a favor every time they don't get the ball to him on the post. I'm not saying that he could score every time down, but you know, they got to treat him like Shaq.
Bryant fed Shaw, who was devoured inside by Rasheed Wallace. A block shot in for Wallace. That's his second of the game.
Kobe just goes through the entire team right there and lays it up. You know, Davis is a shot blocker in there, and he can't even help because he's spending so much energy just trying to maintain Shaq from dunking on him.
2 blocks for Wallace, and inside it goes to Shaquille O'Neal, picked up by Dale Davis. Shaq is short. Rebound pulled down by Stacey Ogden. Portland has not had a field goal hit from the field in over 4 minutes. Rebounding Lakers +3. Pippen. Shaw falls. Fox picks up the defense. Fox falls. Pippen drives on Bryant. Swings it over to Strickland. Back to Pippen. Picked up by Fox with a second to shoot. And a shot clock violation on the Portland Trailblazers. A frustrated Mike Dunleavy with the 8th Portland turnover of the first half.
Well, it was great Laker defense when you look at it, but there's also indecisiveness on the part of the Trailblazers. Now, you see this flop here was just an act. Scottie came through, penetrated, and pitched it out to the corner. Nobody really wants to take the shot, and then you get to a point where the clock runs out.
Kobe Bryant with 8 points and 4 of 4 from the field, missing his first there. Ogden with the second consecutive rebound, torn away by Fox and out of bounds off L.A.
Well, here comes Sabonis back in the game. I think he's had a tremendous impact on them catching up because not only he's not a shot blocker, but he takes up so much space in the lane. Now when he's out of the game, the Lakers have a freeway through the basket because of the width of Sabonis' body not being present.
So Strickland is out. Stoudemire takes his place. Dale Davis is out. And the starter Sabonis is back in. The Blazers right now are living through a 1 of 8 quarter from the field shooting.
When Scottie started off so well offensively, this is a time when they need him to become aggressive and get into this.
A great rejection by Shaquille O'Neal. Bryant flies the other way and hits Fox off the baseline. Shaq is there, up and off, and a foul. Ogden reaching in. Sabonis defending as well. I think it's on Sabonis, as O'Neal grabbed his 7th rebound.
Well, right here as Ogden cuts down the lane, you'll see Ogden initiate the contact with his left arm, but that's a foul. Shaq came over, was moving his body toward the ball. I thought Shaq got away with a foul there, but Shaq's getting fouled at it every time at the other end, so at least the officials are consistent. I like it. Physical play. This is playoff.
No, and
that was a touching foul.
I thought Ogden pushed him off first a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a push, but hey, you got a 350-pound diesel coming at you. You got to self-defense.
Has taken all the free throws tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers. He and the Lakers 0 of 3 from the line. Blazers 3 of 5. Shaq gets his first. He's coming off a 24-point, 20-rebound game in Game 1. Pippen with Fox down, and Fox is in pain. It gets up under his own power after the Portland turnover.
Well, that was a catchable pass that Pippen threw to Wallace that time. Wallace was so busy looking for an alley-oop that when he threw him a regular pass, he wasn't able to catch it. It caught him by surprise.
Teron Lue is in the game. Played 16 minutes in game one. Here's Fox battling a bad hamstring, but looks hale and hearty now. Shaquille O'Neal up high and down hard.
Oh, my goodness.
Shaq is having a house party in that lane. Literally a house party.
15 points for Shaq. 7 have come in the second quarter. Sabonis, the no-look pass to Pippen for 3. Scottie Pippen is on his game tonight. 5 of 6 with a couple threes.
Well, and I think he has to be. Scottie has to get back in the mode that he was in to start this game because they need him to be aggressive offensively or to get people the ball who can score when they can score.
Pippen with the steal, the 8-time All-NBA defensive player, galloping the other way, looking for the trailing Augman. Another Portland turnover.
But you don't penetrate and pitch Danny back out to Augman. He should have gone in and tried to get the foul or at least tried to take that shot.
Blazers have turned it over 4 times in this second quarter. Plus, their shot has disappeared. The Lakers have it 38-35 in the second.
You don't sleep much in the playoffs. Everything catches your eye. Between mourning Eddie Jones and Tim Hardaway's ailments, Pat Riley's Heat have been together only 3 games this year. Wisdom says players reflect their coach. The emotional Mavs reflect their owner. Tracy McGrady's playoffs have been something to behold. From the playbook of the Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals. And finally, for those of you that weren't up late, Coach Thompson met his favorite performer.
Talking about love his music.
He says he loves your music.
Tell him the Cowboy rode away in the second quarter.
He says the Cowboy rode away in the second quarter.
I'll have to agree with that, yeah.
That was Monday night in San Antonio, Texas. And George Strait, who is a season ticket holder for the Spurs, and John Thompson, his biggest fan, was watching from a distance.
Well, and a great singer, but the Cowboy hadn't ridden away in this game, so we're happy about that.
Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Craig Sager with you tonight from downtown Los Angeles. Great to have you with us tonight on TNT. Scottie Pippen's got 12. Shaq's got 15. Lakers have led by as many as 6. Portland has led by as many as 9. Teron Lue inside. With Shaq and Sabonis jousting for the loose ball, and it is on Shaq. Oh, now they change it. It is on Sabonis. He changed it. It was on Shaq initially. Now Sabonis, who is tagged with his second personal foul. You can see the reaction of Mike Dunleavy.
I think that's what Ronnie Nunn called right away. He called it on Sabonis. He just pointed the wrong direction the first time down.
Lakers out there with Fox, Lue, Ori, Shaq, and Kobe Bryant. Bryant 4 of 5 with 8 points. Here comes Shaq. Just outside now with a double of Wallace and Sabonis. They swing it around. Ori to the slashing Rick Fox. He's got 7.
And Sabonis really couldn't come over to help on the block because he's so concerned about just a handoff and a dunk by Shaq. So Shaq's always on the mind of the big man. And it looks like Sabonis is in there, but he's really not because he's so concerned.
And justifiably so. He should be concerned. See, but this is where Sabonis' value is, and this is what you were indicating, Danny. And looking at this, Wallace is alone under the basket with Ori, simply because Sabonis is in the game at the top of the key.
Wallace has 10 at the other end. Fox knocked away by an alert Sabonis. Kobe gets the ball back and controls for the Lakers, who lead by 5 with 4 to play, and a foul called as Bryant was loading off the baseline. And Stoudemire picks up his first.
And how big is Shaquille O'Neal and Sabonis? Look at 800 pounds of man, but he runs right in. He gets double screened right there. Shaq is huge. He's just like a little bug out there running around.
They're talking right now. You get that shot, Lonnie, pull away and see how wide they are. I mean, they're so different. And Kobe Bryant at the free throw line, the first player other than Shaquille O'Neal to take a free throw shot tonight. Now the Lakers 1 of 5. Portland from the free throw line 3 of 5. There's NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue here. Watching the game tonight, wondering why he's in Los Angeles. Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders suing the NFL, and the trial is ongoing here in L.A., and he is representing, of course, the concern of the National Football League and its owners. Taking in an NBA playoff game tonight.
How good would Shaq be in the NFL?
He played in high school in San Antonio.
Oh, my goodness. That's not even fair. With no rules there. No fouls being called.
Shot clock at 5. Sabonis hooks it over Shaq, and the rebound pulled down by Fox. Kobe streaking the other way. Pippen picks him up. Into Shaq. Double. Lou. With the triangle in full form here. Bryant, Lou, Fox. They swing it to Ori for 3. Shaq with the rebound. Oh, right past the Lakers have their biggest lead tonight of 8.
And how great is Shaq? I mean, he's just dominating this game at both ends of the court. Offensive rebound right here finds Ori under the basket after Ori misses the shot. They run out of bounds. No one picks up Ori, but good vision. Great touch, good find by Ori. But right there, Shaq hasn't come out of the game yet, Coach. I mean, that's got to be frustrating. They don't even get a 3 or 4 minute span to play without him out there.
Especially when you're coaching and a big guy like that says he's tired and he's playing as well as he do, you let it fall on your deaf ear and your blind eye. You don't pay any attention to him, you don't see him, and you don't hear him.
Or you call timeout. You say, okay, I'll give you some rest right now.
Tyronn Lue picked up the foul for the Portland Trail Blazers. A look for the first time tonight at Phil Jackson's second year with this team. He has never lost a first-round series. Of course, paved that way by Pippen and Jordan in Chicago, and by Shaq and Kobe last year here in Los Angeles.
I would sure like to see Rasheed Wallace get the ball more on the post.
I would too. Because he began the game that way, looked great.
Well, in particular, as well as he's going, you're absolutely correct. You can't have an equal opportunity offense going on out here. I'd love to see Scottie step up the way he had been earlier, and Rasheed also initiating a lot more offense.
Yeah, because they got all the shooters out of the court. They got Sabonis, they got Pippen, Stoudemire, and Smith. That's their shooting lineup. Rasheed can handle him one-on-one, or he's going to get open jumpers for his teammates.
Illegal defense blown. Timeout taken. A beauty tomorrow night in Charlotte. The Miami Heat down 2-1 will take on the Charlotte Hornets. That's game 3. Shocking wins by the Hornets in Miami. And then game 3 in Orlando with the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night. Traveling down there, 8 o'clock Eastern time. All followed by Inside the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal with a good game tonight. And Sarge, his father, watching on the sideline. He always talks about his dad, which I think is so endearing. A player talking about the influence that his dad has had on him. You can see the great influence that Shaq has had on the Laker lead right now, 43-37. Danny, he finished the month of April as the player of the month, 11 consecutive 30-plus point games. He was fantastic, and he looks great in these playoffs.
He looks great. If I'm the rest of the league, I'm scared to death because Shaq looks better right now, Coach, than I've seen him. Even last year in the playoffs, he looks fresher.
Well, and he definitely has his legs under him. He's getting up high on his shots. The thing that I like, too, is the body language of the Lakers team. I haven't seen them have this kind of chemistry, this kind of nonverbal communication that they have not had in the past. They look like champions now.
I agree. Defensively and offensively, they're crisper on their passes and cuts, and defensively, they're much more active.
Shaq picked up the foul. That's his first. Blazers are shooting 50%. Greg Sager, the Lakers are shooting 47%. And Greg, they got Pippen at the line. Let's send it over to you.
Well, the Lakers knew that the officiating in this game probably would be different from game 1. They had a critique, and they also had a response on the Portland tape. They talked to the league themselves. They said contact is initiated by players who are told to play physical with Shaq. The move leading with the elbow and the shoulder, they said that is the clear bodies that are draped on them. As for Portland talking about having a good game, their final word was Portland's idea of a good game is one they win. Kevin?
That's everybody's idea.
Absolutely.
13 now for Pippen. He had 13 in 40 minutes in game 1, so he's already ahead of the curve.
And I love all of this memo going to the NBA, conversation going on. Everybody's trying to get another inch, and that's a part of coaching.
Bryant was driving. Derek Stanford a little bit hesitant on the call, and they call the charge on Kobe Bryant. That is his 3rd personal foul. So already a brewing story on the Lakers side with Bryant.
So Kobe was complaining. Let's see if Scottie gets outside the lane. He's definitely outside the box. The question is, was he set? Kobe went in crashing in there thinking that Scottie could not get outside the dotted line. Great defensive play by Scottie right there, though.
And they have had a war of words. Scottie Pippen accusing Kobe Bryant of a fake injury in game 1. Kobe said, listen, I'm not going to get involved in that. I was hurt, I played, and we're going to play game 2 tonight.
Yeah, that's wrong of Scottie to do that. He's trying to get in Kobe's head. Kobe, you can't accuse players of faking injuries.
He said faking like Mike used to do. Speaking of Michael Jordan.
I don't think Michael Jordan ever faked an injury.
I agree. And here comes Rasheed Wallace down low like you want to see, John, but missing there is Shaw with the rebound.
Well, he's got to go in low and got to go up strong. Come on, man. I hope he's just not going to put himself in a position for a technical foul.
He doesn't. He just gets called right there for his first tonight.
Well, he got double teamed. He tried to shoot the ball quick before the double team got there, but with Rasheed, he can find that. That's a shot he can get every time with his length, that fadeaway jumper at the baseline. I still like him touching the ball a lot down there.
And he deserves a lot of credit for that, because that's one of the few times he walked away and didn't still insist on fussing and fussing at the officials. So maybe he's maturing in this.
Rick Fox for three. Rick Fox, who had 7 in game 1, has 10 here in game 2. 10 points in 17 minutes for Rick Fox.
But again, that's an example that perimeter people getting enough space to get their shots off.
But well, why, you know, Rasheed Wallace maturing a little bit. He's still with the official. I think the official knows it's Rasheed and his emotion. And I give credit for Ronnie Nunn for not giving Rasheed a technical.
Wallace walked away
on the second time.
And that's something that's highly unusual for Rasheed Wallace. Give the man some credit. He's got 41 technical fouls, or 43 by there, I guess.
I know, but he could have got another one right there.
But he didn't.
Thank you for Ronnie Nunn, who warned him to walk away, and Rasheed did.
Teron Lue picked up his second personal foul, and a 1 of 2 night so far at the free throw line for Rasheed Wallace, coming off a career year in every sense of the word. He had 24 points in game 1. He has 11 points tonight. For the Portland Trail Blazers, John, the most experienced of all the 16 playoff teams.
Well, and getting back to Rasheed Wallace's offense out there, I think it's extremely important for Rasheed to become more aggressive offensively. And a lot of times that happens when you want the ball, when you demand the ball. He's too talented to just run around and deal with the offense as if it's an equal opportunity offense.
Any little full court pressure here defensively by the Blazers. Fox slips by Pippen, takes it to the lane, and slams, dropping the sledgehammer. Rick Fox was 7 in the quarter, 12 for the game, and gets a bear hug from Shaq at the other end.
And looks like he got a technical foul, did he?
A technical foul.
I think Fox doesn't even care. This was too fun. He goes over the 7-4 Sabonis and just dunks on him right there, and then says something. I don't know what he said. Stared at him, talked trash. But there was, again, Rasheed Wallace went running over to Ronnie Nunn and saying, "That's a technical, that's a technical."
I don't blame him. He wants to see if somebody else can get a technical call there.
Steve Smith is the 8th best free throw shooter in the NBA and drills that one. Watch this. You can't do that.
Oh, why not? There's nothing wrong with that.
That's playoff intensity if you've ever seen it.
If you make a play like that, you deserve to give a little stare.
Especially if it's a little guy doing it, right?
Yeah.
Lakers by 7. An outside shot won't drop by Wallace. Smith gathered it, was triple teamed and moved inside, and was fouled by Los Angeles. And Bryant Shaw may have been in the vicinity and picked up the foul.
Well, the interesting thing about watching the Trailblazers, Smith was the only one on the offensive board that time. They have a lot of guys that are very agile that can get in, and particularly if you get some movement in your offense and you go in. They might be able to get some putbacks by attacking the offensive boards a little bit more aggressive also.
Smith hits the free throw. And let's take a look at Wimbledon. The drama returning to TNT this June.
The drama of Wimbledon returns to TNT. Don't miss 2 weeks of daytime coverage of the best tennis in the world beginning June 25th.
Wimbledon and TNT exclusively beginning June 25th.
Now, Sabonis has to be very careful right here not to pick up a 3rd foul. That could be crucial. Give up a dunk before you give up a foul.
Look out. There's O'Neal held by Wallace. It appeared from behind that time. Trying to harness in Shaq. And they call it on Rasheed, who picks up his second. Sabonis, as Danny just said, has 2. But aside from that, that is the only foul problem that Portland has to deal with right now.
And watch Shaq as he comes across the lane. Sabonis doesn't want to pick up a foul. There's a screen right there. He's got 2 hands out there just like, oh, don't dunk, don't dunk. Thank goodness Rasheed bailed him out and took the foul himself.
And Shaq at the free throw line tonight, 1 of 4.
Sabonis looks a little scared out there on that play, Coach. He wasn't very aggressive. Tyrone Lue set a screen on a 320-pound guy.
Well, he has reason to be afraid of. You see the way Shaq has been playing in there. He's going down so physical. But sometimes it's much more difficult to get around a smaller guy because he's so agile and underneath you, particularly when you use him to set the screen.
Shaq was 16. Stoudemire the other way with under a minute to play here in the first half from downtown Los Angeles. Sabonis the screen for Smith, who takes it down the lane into Shaq, who knocked it away and picked up by Shaw, who loses his footing, retrieved by Lue. He loses his footing, and a whistle. Stoudemire was climbing on Lue's back.
You know, that's one of the things I'm noticing about the Lakers with the addition of Lue and also Fisher. You just get more floor quickness. You get guys who are getting to the ball a lot faster. I mean, this is a perfect example. You see Lue getting over there. It's a loose ball. That's extremely important to have people to realize that rebounds are just as important on the floor as they are in the air.
Lue missing the free throw, 45 seconds to play now in the first half. And the Lakers as a team 3 of 9 from the free throw line.
And sometimes those loose balls are more important, Coach, because they lead to fast break opportunities.
That's exactly right. And that's the thing that I think Fisher has given them and Lue has given them, that you got that small, quick guy that made the Lakers team a lot more able to put pressure offensively by running, pick up loose balls, and to get a lot of free balls.
Lakers have just tied their biggest lead tonight of 8. Scottie Pippen, who's had a great first half, continues that way. He's got 15 points, 6 of 8 from the field. Lue flies the other way, feeding for Shaw, picked up by Davis. And the other way comes Smith, who looks for Pippen, who feeds to Stoudemire. Flies Rasheed Wallace, but Fox burns him at the other end.
Well, what a beautiful pass by Robert Horry. He got that easy play, that alley-oop dunk, didn't even hesitate, threw the ball right down court to Fox.
But it's elementary school basketball. If somebody on the Blazers team should have rotated back. You don't just take the ball out against a professional team and throw the ball down the court. Nobody's back. That's grade school basketball.
Scottie Pippen for 3. Rebound off the hands of Davis. 3.5 seconds to play in the first half. And out of bounds it goes.
Well, there's a lot of good action right here. Damon Stoudemire, beautiful lob pass, but watch how quick Robert Horry gets the ball out, and he just throws the ball long. Wallace tries to contest the pass. Fox taking off, leaking out. Something I used to love to do for the easy hoops.
They have changed the call, and it was off of Portland, so Los Angeles will have 3.5 with which to work here in the closing seconds of the second quarter.
Did you ever leap back to defense?
Absolutely. That's why they put that flagrant foul rule in there. I found myself, trying to tackle James Worthy and Magic Johnson 2-on-1 many times.
Call that a slow leap, right?
Mike Dunleavy said that tonight's game for the Portland Trail Blazers, the most important game his team would face all season, the all-crucial Game 2 in this best-of-5. In a season where the Blazers have watched disintegrating player after disintegrating player around them. Shaq at the other end. Shaw, good if it goes. The Lakers will take their biggest lead of the game to halftime.
Well, they had a guy in front of Shaq and a guy behind Shaq. Robert Horry couldn't find anybody else open. You can see there's 2 guys on Shaq right there. Horry decides to just throw it up anyway. 3 guys converge on Shaq. Leaves Bryant Shaq wide open. Beautiful execution.
Rick Fox was spectacular in the first half. But this is the way it ends, with Shaq feeding Shaw and getting a nice psychological advantage going to the locker room as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Oh, Rick Fox with 14, Rasheed Wallace also with 14, but you lead 1 technical to none. Was that dunk over Sabonis worth it?
I don't know. I didn't say anything. I did look to see who it was, but right now we're playing a different team. This team has brought a lot of energy tonight, so we have to be very careful.
At one time we said this team didn't have harmony, but you guys look like you're playing so well together. Shaq's having the ball out there.
We like each other. Go figure, right? I think that's what it's going to take for us to win against this team.
Great first half. Let's go back to Kevin.
18-point turnaround in the first half. Blazers led by 9. Now Portland trails by 9 here at halftime. And Ernie the Jet, Charles, and Jerry Stackhouse on deck in Atlanta. Portland shot 72% in the first quarter, but they shoot 22%. Ernie Johnson in the second quarter. Thus they're down at halftime, 55-46. We're in glistening downtown Los Angeles tonight The NBA playoffs on TNT. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager, who moments ago caught up with Portland coach Mike Dunleavy.
Well, Coach, a great offensive start, but you're down by 9. What else can you do?
Well, we got to do a better job. Our fast breaks, we haven't completed some good opportunities, and we've let them get second chance points. That's the difference. They're 22-3 on second chance and fast break points compared to ours.
Are you happy with the way the officials are calling the game, particularly in regard to Shaq?
Yeah, I think the officials have been fine in this game. You know, I think that basically for us, it's a matter of get him in the half court. We've done a pretty good job in the half court. Keep from getting the second chance shots in the open courts.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's go back to Kevin.
All right, Craig, thank you. Moments away our second half. John, what would you tweak if you were Mike Dunleavy going into the second half?
Well, I think he's got to apply more pressure in his half-court defense outside. He's absolutely correct about getting out and get breaks and getting down before Shaq gets settled into the paint.
What would you do down there?
Oh, man. I'd take Coach Thompson out there and see if he could keep Shaq out of the paint for a while, because so far Sabonis has had a tough time, and so has Dale Davis. But it'll be interesting to see the Lakers, which Laker team shows up here in the second half. Shaq's played all 24 minutes. How much energy does he have, and how much will he expend to start the second half?
Shaq was great. It was truly a big first half for a big man for the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaq was great, and he had a terrific first half with 16 points, 7 of 12 from the field. And as good as he is in basketball, his counterpart in auto racing, that man right there, Michael Waltrip, the winner of the Daytona 500. And of course, NBC and TNT team up to bring you NASCAR July 5th on TNT. Will be their first race. John, you like NASCAR, don't you?
I do like it. I'm learning to like it anyway. I think it's exciting. More contact than in basketball, though.
Yeah, a lot more. You know, one of the things you can't really believe is the audiences they get, the crowds at these events, hundreds of thousands of people. And we begin the second half. Stoudemire, Sabonis, Wallace, Smith, and Pippen. A knock away and a Portland turnover, something they did not want to happen out of the gate here in the second half.
No, you see that inside dominance by the Lakers in game 1 and again in leg 2 with that pass graphic. It has just been total dominance. A lot of time left in this game, and I don't see that changing.
Shaquille O'Neal. 18. Lakers out there with Fisher, Grant, Fox, Shaq, and Kobe Bryant. Illegal defense blown inside on the Los Angeles Lakers. Calm Phil Jackson.
I'd be calm too. I'd be calm just by watching the way Shaq's playing. Doesn't even matter anything else. When I see a man that big and strong and talented and that motivated, that's it. That's all I would care about. I'd be smiling the whole game.
You know, Craig Sager had a report, and Craig, I'm going to bring you in here. Earlier in the season, we saw Shaq, and he told you he was injured. He was a little out of shape. What has happened between that report and what we're seeing tonight?
Well, he got together with an aerobic instructor that Coach Phil Jackson had worked with him a couple of years ago when he was injured to strengthen the abdominal muscles. And obviously, Shaq not only has lost some weight since those early times, but he's also more flexible. He feels very good, and especially a couple of days off, which he's had since the game on Sunday, he didn't want to come out of the ball game.
Smith inside for 2.
Oh, you know, I mean, there's no revelation about the foul shooting instructors. You've been hearing about foul shooting instructors for Shaq since he's been in the league. Now we've got an indomitable instructor. You know what I mean? And all that stuff is good. But in the meantime, this man is mighty talented and very difficult to stop.
And he's motivated. I mean, he's playing extremely hard throughout in the playoffs. He wants to win that championship.
Smith across the lane, a Laker rebound, not a Blazer in sight. And here comes Los Angeles. Now the Blazers are coming off a 22% shooting second quarter, and they're trying to shake the cobwebs of that.
Well, and the Blazers have to answer them. They have to come out with the same kind of aggressiveness that they started the game with.
Wallace picks up a foul, and O'Neal gets the 2 nonetheless. That is disheartening.
It's hard because I just don't know how to defend Shaq any better. But he's just, the Blazers are complaining that he's 3 seconds in the lane on those last 2 possessions. But there's nothing you can do. You just keep saying, please count, and count faster.
Well, at some point, then, they've got to stop complaining and play. You know, Shaq is an issue. It's difficult for anybody to guard. But they've got to make the Lakers have some difficulty about some of the things that they're doing. And Coach Dunleavy said it. Defensively, they've got to be aggressive, get down, get some fast break baskets, play with the kind of confidence that they started this game with.
Pippen missing horribly on the shot. Shaq's got 21 now. Here comes Bryant. Dancing his way into the defense of Smith. A screen by Shaq and a flip outside to Fox for 3. Wallace with the rebound.
Well, see, now this is a missed basket. They've got to get down now and get to. They got the rebound. You get out. That's an opportunity to break. But there's still the body language of the Blazers right now I don't like.
Sabonis with the miss. Blazers have come out flat. Fox with Brent leading the way. Loose inside. Gobbled up by Pippen. That's 11 Laker turnovers tonight. Pippen double team. Corkscrews out of that. Gets his own miss. And keeps it alive for the Blazers and a fresh 24 on the shot clock.
Well, and this is a very dangerous time for the Blazers right here. They've got to now come on and start to play harder. They've got to create some things out here right now.
Stoudemire missing, and Portland has missed their last 7 3-point tries, Danny.
I just don't see a lot of fight in Portland.
None at all. None at all. You're absolutely correct. You know, particularly the way they came out. They know that they can play against this team if they are aggressive.
What a pass by Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, that will warrant a timeout from the Portland side. Because the Los Angeles Lakers are shredding the Blazers.
And Mike Dunleavy is furious. You know, you can tell by the expression on his face. He said it right to Craig. You've got to get out and play tough defense. You've got to get out on the break and be aggressive.
The O'Neal assist, and the Lakers have their biggest lead tonight over Portland.
Lead 97-67 for the Charlotte Hornets, trouncing the Miami Heat for the 2nd straight time on the road.
Pretty incredible what has happened down in South Florida. And now on Tobacco Road, they go to Carolina in Charlotte tomorrow night. That will be on TNT at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Baron Davis, Jamal Mashburn have been terrific. Tim Hardaway is out for at least this first-round series, and should Miami advance, maybe more. Portland has only scored on 1 of their last 8 trips in this 3rd quarter. Sabonis on top, left uncovered by Shaq, and nails a 2-point shot.
That's so important for him to knock down outside shots, just to have Shaq honor him, because they're just going to let him be out there. They know he loves to pass first and shoot second.
Those substitutions by either team. 8.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. As Kobe Bryant, who exploded on a 4-4 start, takes it inside and gently tosses it in. And Bryant's got 11.
Unbelievable shot right there. I mean, he just shot it over Wallace and Pippen.
Pippen and Grant colliding at the other end. But get a look at this play by Kobe Bryant.
Well, Scottie's trying to keep him down to the baseline where the help is. Here comes the help. Great shot contest. Rasheed Wallace, one of the longest guys in the league. Kobe just shoots it like no one's there.
One of the things you have to be really impressed with this game is Kobe's unselfishness. Everybody talked about the fact that he wanted to look out for himself, the conflict or whatever was going on between he and Shaq. But this boy's a winner because now he realizes it's a playoff. He's making the sacrifices to get the ball distributed and to pass the ball around. He can get a shot, Danny, anytime he wants to.
Pippen's got 16. He'll stay there. 2nd foul called on Horace Grant as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, before the timeout, Coach Thompson said if he was Mike Dunleavy, he'd be furious. Well, guess what? Mike Dunleavy was in that hall. He told his team they're playing too slow. They're playing too soft. He said, if you want to watch the Lakers run up and down the court, you sit next to me. Otherwise, get out there and be aggressive at both ends of the court, and let's play basketball.
And a foul just called right there.
Sager's fired up.
Shaquille O'Neal, that's the 2nd.
We sure Sager wasn't the one that gave him that pep talk in that huddle?
Suggs is always fired up.
Well, and Dunleavy is completely correct about that. That's not a question of coaching. It's a question of professional pride. These guys know that they can play if they compete out here.
Inside, it goes to Stoudemire, who found an opening inside that circle and puts in his 8th point And the Blazers to within 10 with 7:42 to play in the third. O'Neal. Every move he has made tonight, every shot he has taken, he has found success. 23 in the game, 7 in the quarter.
Well, Sabonis had better stop trying to officiate the game and go ahead and try a little better job of stopping Shaq from getting his hands on the ball.
Wallace fumbles it away.
And Shaq just said to Sabonis right then, they had a nice little exchange. Say, quit flopping. Quit flopping. He said it to him about 3 times.
13 turnovers tonight by the Blazers in a game where they had to play almost perfect basketball. Bryant to Fox. Wallace came converging. They doubled Grant and outside for an uncovered finish. Rebound Sabonis shoving away Grant. Under 7 to play in the third. Stoudemire dancing into Fox, who draws the foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal with 23 and moving inside here.
Well, he does the move. He comes, he spins baseline, just normal spin, and you can see that Sabonis flops a little bit, but then that's a 350-pound guy swinging leading with his elbow. I'm not saying he's swinging him at him, but man, I feel sorry for Sabonis as well. But you know, you got to take your fouls and make him earn them, because he's just been a little bit too soft on Shaq tonight, even if you foul out.
Well, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, that's one of the most underestimated things in basketball, a guy fouling out or not fouling out. Sometimes you're better off fouling out if you're playing aggressively and you're helping to set the tone for your team for aggressiveness. But Sabonis is more aggressive with the officials, fussing at the officials because he's not reacting to his flopping.
Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen were just exchanging some words. I don't know if they were heated, but they were talking to each other moments ago. And of course, Pippen played for Jackson with those 6 championships in Chicago. 10 points now for Stoudemire. Rick Fox picked up his second foul. Neither team has made a substitution so far in the second half, with Bryant clamped in by Pippen. What a matchup that has been, in the paper and on the floor. And a foul call. Pippen was defending. Sabonis was in back. And the ball goes on Scottie.
You think Kobe is aware of Scottie's comments when he has the ball in his hand? That was one time when he definitely was not going to pass that ball.
Pippen's got 2, and Kobe Bryant at the free throw line. 1 of 2 tonight, 11 points in the game.
You know, and Shaq didn't even get to touch the ball, didn't even get a sniff of touching the ball that possession. They want to run it through the offense. But you know what? With Kobe's talent, you have to give him some of those times. And he knows that Scottie Pippen has no chance of defending him. So, and Shaq, for the last couple possessions for the first time, looks a little fatigued.
I almost hate to bring this up, but what is the latest on the relationship with Kobe and Shaq? John, what have you heard?
It looks great to me. I don't care what they talk about. You know, when they get out here and they play well together. That's the most significant thing. That was my point about Kobe playing so unselfishly today.
And I think the time out that Kobe took, where he was missing those games, helped a lot in his observation of how good a player Shaq was and how the offense needed to be run.
Foul called inside. Nope. Illegal defense blown again. This is a ball you will not see a year from now, but until then, coaches like Phil Jackson have got to contend with it. And we just called in his Laker defender. Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line is Olympian Steve Smith. Portland has led by as many as 9 tonight. The Laker lead has bloomed to 13.
Well, Portland's hanging around. It looked there for a minute like they were going to fall apart. Mike Dunleavy made a very good timeout, got his troops together, and they came out and played since that time a little bit harder.
Lakers shooting 54%, Blazers shooting 45% for the game. Good screen by Wallace for Smith.
Well, that's the first time that Smith has really gotten into it and gotten a good look like that. Because the Lakers are doing a good job defensively, too, in getting out and putting pressure on the shooters of the Trailblazers.
Smith has 12. 6 have come in this quarter. 6 minutes to play in the third. Kobe driving inside, flipping it to Fisher for a 3. Fisher with 7. He missed most of the season with the fracture, came back in game 63, and he has done nothing but help the Los Angeles Lakers. Sabonis with his outside shot and the miss, and the rebound by Grant.
Well, this guy with the ball had a whole lot to do with Fisher making that shot. That was just a beautiful move. He went deep in traffic and got it to him at the top of the key, and that was not an easy pass to make.
Shaq and Wallace collide while airborne. It's out of bounds. It's off the Lakers. With 5.5 remaining in the third. Kobe Bryant, 5 assists tonight.
This is what I was talking about. Excuse me, Dan. He went right into traffic, jumped up in the air, left his feet, and got the ball to Fisher at the top of the key with a great pass.
And Shaq is kind of resting right now while Kobe's doing his thing, and that's not all bad either.
Fisher had the better of Stoudemire in game 1. Wallace for 3. Rebound by Fisher, tears it away from an intruding Scottie Pippen. Fox at the other end.
Well, you know, it's easy for Fisher to have a good game because they just Kobe and Shaq creating wide open jump shots. Damon Stoudemire has to work for every single shot he gets out there.
Rasheed Wallace has just been touched, John, with his 4th personal foul tonight. And 5:05 remains in the 3rd.
Well, even though he has a 4th foul on him, I'd love to see him at this point, particularly with his offensive ability, get some touches, be aggressive. I'd like for him to offensively try to initiate a lot more out there. Scottie Pippen is the one trailblazer that I see being more aggressive, being more active. I think a lot of the other players out there need to follow his lead a little bit more.
You see what he did to Javi, Danny?
Yeah. Slapped him on the behind right there. I don't know what he said, but the thing about it is Detlef Schrempf, this is a critical time of the game. Detlef just hasn't had a chance to get a lot of rhythm in recently, but they need some offensive punch out there, and Detlef can shoot and knows how to play.
Missed the first half of the season with chronic neck injury, and now he is back. Double teamed is Smith. He's in a Laker straight jacket inside, and a timeout taken by the Portland Trail Blazers. Shaquille O'Neal has put in 23 points tonight, grabbed 8 rebounds. Kobe Bryant has put in 13. Fox has 16 points. The Lakers are hitting on all cylinders. They lead it 71-59. Mia Hamm and the undefeated Washington Freedom march into Carolina to battle Carla Overbeck and the Carolina Courage. It's this Saturday at noon Eastern Time on TNT. Kevin Harlan, Hall of Fame coach John Thompson, NBA champion and a former All-Star Danny Ainge, and Emmy Award-winning reporter Craig Sager, and our entire TNT crew here in sold-out Los Angeles' Staples Center. You see the offense, Shaq and Kobe tonight. Shaq finished number 3 in scoring in the regular year. Kobe finished number 4. It's been a long time since one team had 2 players on that roster to finish in the top 5 in scoring for a single season.
Oh, and both of them are doing a great job tonight, and they're not competing with each other for points. Those points are coming strategically at the right time for both players.
Stoudemire the miss, and O'Neal inhales his 9th rebound tonight.
And you see how hard Damon has to work for shots.
Bryant collides with Schrempf, turned the ball over, and Stoudemire gets a great lead pass to All-Star Steve Smith, who makes it a 10-point game with that breakaway. 14 for Smith. Wallace on the bench with 4 fouls.
Now they've been messing around a little bit. Maybe they'll start getting the ball into Shaq a little bit more.
Bryant with Pippen on him. Rebound by Scottie, who collects his 5th rebound tonight. Wides the other way, and Smith will face Bryant. Blazers 45% from the field shooting. Stoudemire wheeling in the lane, threw it away, got it back. Schrempf. Sabonis uncovered. Rebound by Fox. Shaq at the other end against Sabonis. A nimble move and with a lot of guile. Shaquille O'Neal losing his balance. Saved the ball for the Lakers by ricocheting the pass off the calf of Sabonis.
Well, the Blazers have to be more aggressive getting back defensively also. I mean, they've got to. Scottie is the only one out there in the Blazers team that I see have the kind of energy that they need to have right now.
In the course of 3 weeks, one team lost a star and one team gained a star. For the Portland Trail Blazers, their second best offensive option was Bonzi Wells, a young player who had been brought along slowly and was now a star. Meanwhile, for the Los Angeles Lakers, Derek Fisher, who had a fractured foot, missed the first 62 games of the season. But he has come back and been a great addition, while the Portland Trail Blazers have had to deal with the subtraction of one of their fine scorers in Bonzi Wells.
Well, Bonzi Wells is one of the best low post players at 6'5". He's at 53%, only behind Shaq in field goal percentage. Then you still have Steve Smith coming off the bench, and the option of the big guard lineup, which was so effective in the playoffs last year, with Steve Smith, Scottie Pippen, and Bonzi Wells, has been eliminated.
Well, Bonzi's ability to score right now is where Mike Dunleavy is at a tremendous disadvantage, because when there is a lull, you could have gone to Bonzi. Bonzi creates instant offense.
Rick Fox has put in 19 points tonight. The Lakers have not made a second-half substitution so far. And the Portland Trail Blazers are down 74-61. Pippen, Stoudemire, Fox converging quickly. Stoudemire wheeling around him. Sabonis open to fire.
Good play by Stoudemire right there, taking the pass, penetrating in, and seeing Sabonis wide open. You see Sabonis, it's like he's looking to pass first and shoot second, and I think he needs to look to be more aggressive. He can shoot that wide open shot all night.
Grant to Bryant into Shaq and double. Doesn't matter, he puts it in nonetheless. Shaquille O'Neal tonight has accounted for 25 points, 9 of which have been scored in this third quarter.
Well, Sabonis is letting him catch the ball so deep in the paint. He pushes him once he catches the ball. He maybe needs to bang Shaq a little bit before Shaq gets his hand on the ball, so Shaq won't get the kind of position he's getting out here.
Shrimp to Sabonis. Shaq slow to get to him, but onto the shot just enough that it was missed. And out of bounds off the Lakers. I think that's what you're talking about, John, right here.
Well, exactly. I mean, he should really try to stop him a little bit more aggressively from getting in there. But if you let Shaq get in that position, you might as well say a prayer, because you doggone sure not going to be able to stop him.
Steve Smith with the miss. Blazers shooting 43%. Lakers shooting 54%. An incredible Laker rebounding advantage. 33-18 tonight.
I have one problem with you, Coach. What word you said right there, and it's called let. He's letting Shaq catch it in there. I don't think he has a choice. He's not.
Another O'Neal assist. Not this time. Grant can't get it to drop. Look at Kobe Bryant fighting in a thicket of Portland defenders and banks it in. He is outstanding. 15 points for Kobe Bryant. And it gives the Lakers their biggest lead tonight over the Blazers. Stoudemire with the triple try. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal.
You could almost see a little bit of wind come out of Portland's sail on that great play by Kobe right there. Sometimes those things are momentum breakers, especially when a team doesn't have great chemistry anyway. And they've had some struggles throughout this entire season, and so much adversity. Do they have enough to keep fighting through this?
Here comes Shaq. He was pointing to his father in the stands. Sabonis picks up his third foul. Who in the world, who in their right mind would get in the way of this?
Oh, it was a great pass by Kobe, too. Just hit the seam. But Shaq, that guy is so talented. The way he's playing right now, he's definitely the best player in the NBA.
Well, and you're talking about two big guys. One of them is agile and the other one can't move. Shaq is killing him with his foot movement as well as his body strength and his stature.
Shaq is back, and that should scare the entire NBA as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Phil Jackson told his team during that last timeout, you got to get the ball to Shaq. Fox, or you just rebound. Kobe, Derek, get the ball inside. Inside to Shaq. He may give it back to you, but give it to Shaq. Kevin?
Thank you, Craig. Shrimp drills a shot from outside. 15-point Laker lead.
That's an important shot for Detlef to hit. Detlef can play, but, you know, Detlef's been a starter his whole career. He's been sitting on the pine. Maybe his neck's starting to hurt again, just sitting on the pine all the time he has. But the dust is starting to get off his hands, and a very good player. But I still wonder why Greg Anthony's not playing. Greg Anthony's been such a weapon for Portland the last couple of years.
Well, and certainly it would add to the defensive effort that they have out there. One of the ways to stop Shaq is to prevent him from getting the ball. The passer can't make easy passes. You've got to pressure the ball. I think that Portland's defense at half court is horrendous at this point.
Greg Anthony is on the bench, a great on-ball defender. He has had his injuries in this season, and he has not played all that much in the last 17 games. 18 seconds to play here in the third. Lob inside is Shaw, who has taken the place of Kobe Bryant, and the only Lakers substitution in this third quarter. will drive on Shaw, and a steal by Fox. Handcuffed by Stoudemire, and a Houdini move frees him a back clutch. Fisher for three, and from behind, Smith knocks it away. Lakers have a great third quarter, shooting 52% for the game. Shaq's got 27. Portland coach Mike Dunleavy says this is the most important game of the season for the Blazers, whose payroll is through the roof, whose chemistry is questionable, and whose dilemma is daunting tonight in Game 2 on the road in Los Angeles. All the drama of Game 2 in the glare of the bright lights of Hollywood. We are at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Lakers have led by as many in this contest of 17, now up by 15, 80-65 at the end of 3. And here's tonight's budget rent-a-car fast break. The fast break points, the rebounding plus 16 for the Lakers, the second chance points, and the points in the paint sum up the story for the Lakers tonight.
Well, you know, the Lakers have done a good job. There's no question about it. If anything else, showing the rest of the NBA that they have solidarity now. Everybody's ready to play and play together. But in the same token, I still would love to see the Blazers be a little bit more competitive in this ball game.
Here's Shaq. Dale Davis is in, and he is defending. Shrimp with the rebound. Rasheed Wallace is back in the game.
And game 1, Rasheed Wallace went to the bench, and the Lakers opened up a big lead. And in this game, he went to the bench with 4 fouls, and they opened up a big lead. But Mike Dunleavy's countered by putting a big guard lineup in there, putting Scottie Pippen at the point, Deadlift Shrimp at the 3, and Steve Smith at the 2. So this is the biggest lineup we've seen.
17 for Wallace.
Well, in that matchup, Shaq had him, and Shaq is not going to go that deep on the floor and guard him. Rasheed knows that.
Fisher to Bryant. Pulls a pass inside to O'Neal. The miss and the rebound. And wait a minute. Hold on. The normally mild-mannered Steve Smith with some shoving inside on Shaquille O'Neal.
A lot of that is just frustration, as you know, from being out there, because Shaq really is normally mild-mannered also, based on the amount of hacking and grabbing that's attributed to his body.
I don't know if you want to be messing with Shaq. Right here, he goes in, he gets this rebound right here, but a bunch of guys are just pushing him and shoving, and look at that, 3 guys are trying to help. He's just trying to get free of them. They're all holding him still. Shaq didn't do anything wrong. He's saying, leave me alone, get away. Hey, well, I'm not sure I'd be messing with Shaq right now.
I don't know whether Steve Smith is courageous or crazy. I mean,
Double.
God, he sure didn't go after Shaq that time.
Double technical foul.
Oh, I know what it is. They must be good buddies.
I don't know. Maybe that's the way, Steve Smith's way. The only way they can beat the Lakers is get him ejected this game and suspended for the next.
Devin George now checks in for Derek Fisher. Shaw will play the point. George in the backcourt, Kobe, Shaq, and Robert Horry for the Los Angeles Lakers.
And Phil Jackson's countered by putting a big guard lineup out there so he doesn't have to double team any of the 1, 2, or 3 position.
Well, I think the officials did a great job at that time. The fans booed because they wanted some kind of call or technical foul. But the officials just talked to them, got together, and walked away from it.
Well, they got the double tech. One was on Smith, one was on Shaq.
And with this length, they've had a little bit tougher time getting the ball. That's 2 possessions in a row where Shaq hasn't touched it.
Bad pass by Scottie Pippen. Turnover number 15 for the Portland Trailblazers. We're shooting 44% to the 50% shooting of the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. Inside to Kevin Jordan. Robert Horry with an easy pass for 2.
Easy pass because nobody picked him up. I mean, they came back in transition defense. Nobody identified the fact that the man was standing under the basket.
Scottie Pippen has put in 16. Here is Steve Smith for 3. Rebound inside by Shaw. '17 rebound advantage tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers over the Portland Trailblazers. 7 for Shaw. Robert Horry for 3. Rebound inside by Dale Davis, the former Indiana Pacer. And Shrimp at the other side tries to slide in and is fouled on the play. Devin George was defending. First on George.
Well, there's no excuse for this kind of bad defense right here. You see Devin George over here. Steve Smith, that's his man right there. Scottie Pippen's supposed to be out here. Nobody picks up Devin George. Nobody even sees him. A new sub in the game, lack of communication. You can't have that if you have any chance to win in the fourth quarter.
Well, and that's just, as you know, Dan, it's just basic talking and pointing out. Anytime a team's coming back in transition quickly on you, you've got to take the immediate danger, not necessarily your own man. You've got to stop the easy basket.
Coming into this season, as we see Ron Strickland getting ready to check in, this was supposed to be the deepest team in the NBA. This is the Portland Trail Blazers, constructed by Mike Dunleavy and staff. But the Portland bench tonight, Danny, only 1 of 7 from the floor.
They have got nothing out of their bench throughout in game 1 as well. You know, again, I'm just going to say I'm a Greg Anthony fan, and I don't know why he's not playing. And the acquisition of Rod Strickland maybe took minutes away from Greg Anthony, and I know he was hurt earlier in the year. But when I was coaching against Portland 2 years ago, I wish Greg Anthony hadn't played because he killed us. Him and Stacey Ogman both, they're just great role players. They just do their job. They compete. They can pressure the ball on the perimeter. They can really add some defensive intensity.
Shaquille O'Neal. That time making little use of Dale Davis. 29 for Shaq.
Come on, Shaq. Shaq said they hit me in the head. They hit him everywhere else on his body. He never said anything. He's playing for the foul, so he gets a free throw.
Pippen over Shaw, finds 2 inside. Now Scottie Pippen for the night has put in 18. All-point game, Lakers on top. Lakers have led by as many as 17 points, and a pass inside to Shaq. Inside for the leaping Robert Horry. Kobe Bryant. One-on-one with Shrimp. Into a thicket and outside. He flips it to Fisher. Pippen the other way with under 9 minutes to play in the game. Shrimp to Wallace. Boy, from... Oh, look at this. Dale Davis. They got to restrain the bench because if anybody comes off the bench, although Robert Horry was in, if anybody comes off the bench, automatically suspended and fined.
Dale Davis is gone right there. Horry's not taking it. Horry wants to get suspended too. I don't know why.
Well, Horry had better be smarter than this because it's to the disadvantage, as you know, of the Lakers to get caught up in this. They need to go back to their bench, shut up, and let this get over with quickly.
Hey, if I'm Dale Davis getting dunked on all night long, I'm not sure I want to stay in this game. But that's not wise because he doesn't get to play in the Knicks game either. And maybe that's what he doesn't want.
Dale Davis got a technical at the end of game 1 after he fouled out quickly going up against Shaquille O'Neal. And the frustration has continued into tonight's game.
It looked like a punch from where I was standing. I couldn't see the actual punch, but it looked like he did extend the arm. And Robert Horry went flying to the, and I can't imagine Horry wouldn't have been frustrated if it not been a punch. Oh, big elbow into the throat.
Which knocked Horry out of bounds.
And then he raises his hand right there. I'd be surprised if Dale Davis plays in the next game.
Fireworks in Los Angeles with a lot to sort out. Robert Horry hits the second of 2 technical free throws. He missed the first. He hits the second. He picked up the personal, and then Dale Davis was ejected for what was as lethal an elbow as you will see in the NBA. Right there.
He winds it up and hits Horry pretty good. Horry does a good job of acting it out, but Horry initiated the play, but he didn't deserve to push him back. Don't throw an elbow that could hurt someone in their career.
Well, and basically it was a push. It was not really something that was that flagrant what Horry did.
Right, and he got called for the foul, but you can't retaliate that the way that Dale Davis did.
But unfortunately, that's the sign of frustration, as you and I both know in watching is, you want them to respond and compete, but you don't want to see that happen.
And I just feel bad for Dale Davis because that guy has been fighting for his life. It's unrealistic and unfair to expect him to defend Shaq down there in the paint. That's why they got Will Perdue over there. he hasn't had to play yet.
I don't know how unfair it is. Hey, I tell you, but I really feel worse for Mike Dunleavy. You find yourself in a situation in a ball game like this. You lose Sean Kemp at this point of the year. You also end up losing Bonzi Wells. Then you've got to make the adjustments to get in this kind of competitive contest this late in the year, and that's a very difficult thing for any coach to do.
how much they would love to have Brian Grant, Jermaine O'Neal back and rescind that trade.
Absolutely.
Those
Absolutely.
two trades.
Highest payroll in the NBA. And Danny, I think one of the writers up in Portland called it a rotisserie team. It's like every free agent that was out there that had any kind of post value was picked up and signed by the Portland Trailblazers, with maybe without consideration given to chemistry. And you look at this team, and there doesn't appear to be any Portland chemistry right now.
No, and you know, again, there's two players that have been good for him the last couple of years, and Anthony and Ogman, and they can't even get any time. And they're the two character guys that I think have had experience winning and have had a big reason for their success over the last few years, and they can't even get any time on the court.
There's a Saturday playoff tripleheader on NBC this weekend. Coverage starting at noon Eastern. Philly and Indiana. That series is tied. Then Utah and Dallas. Jazz looking for a sweep, as is San Antonio at Minnesota. Then Sunday, New York, Toronto. That game tonight was won by 20 with the Raptors at the Garden. Sacramento, Phoenix tied at 1 apiece. Lakers, Portland, which looks to be like the Lakers, going up 2-0 on the disintegrating Portland Trailblazers.
This game's not over. Feels like it is, though, doesn't it? It feels like it, but hey, nothing, you know, a few three-point shots by Portland. You never know.
3-second violation called on Sabonis inside the lane.
Oh, and that'll make Mike Dunleavy go crazy because, you know, they're complaining about the 3-second call on Shaq, and he hasn't been called for any yet today.
So don't ask for it, you may get it. But they wanted the call to be made, but it's being called on them. This is what I want to see. I want to see Rasheed start to get aggressive offensively, particularly with his ability.
Or he defended right there.
But there's nobody going to the offensive boards. And they have guys that are that size, that 6'7", 6'8" size that are capable of moving.
Screen by O'Neal for Kobe. Shaw over to Fisher. Mismatch on Wallace. See how he tries to exploit that. Into the lane with a drive and a missed shot. And his own rebound.
Own rebound over the biggest guy on the court on Portland's team, and then he puts up a layup in the guy's face.
Shrimp to Pippen for 3. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal, collecting his 12th rebound tonight. When you look at Fisher, you see another draft pick by the now departed general manager Jerry West.
And Fisher is perfect for this team because he plays that defense. He plays defense like a linebacker out there. And just a great body. And he's learned how to shoot. He's become a better shooter, although I'm still not convinced he's a great shooter, but he makes enough.
Every basket made tonight by Kobe Bryant has had a high degree of difficulty to it. A circus act, an acrobatic move every time by Kobe Bryant. He's been fun to watch tonight. 7 of 9 from the field, 17 points. Shaq twirling inside. Pippen the rebound. Under 7 to play in the game. Stoudemire. Shot clock at 9. Pippen, no one is on it. And that's the result of 3. 21 for Scottie Pippen.
Well, particularly when Portland gets some movement, somebody's got to attack the offensive boards, though. You got to, Dunleavy said it correctly, you play good defense, you get out and you try to run the floor and get some fast break baskets. If you don't get those baskets, get some motion so you at least have an opportunity to go to the offensive board.
He's uncovered. It is shot too long, and Scottie Pippen is there to reel in the rebound. He's got 8 tonight. Pippen again, thinking about 3 and firing the 3. Sabonis with the offensive rebound. A fresh shot clock for the Blazers. A 3 by Wallace. Rebound by Fisher.
Well, at least they got an offensive rebound, coach. They got 2 shots at it.
It's about time. I tell you what, though, they've got to get some penetration maybe and start launching up those threes are fine if you're making them. But if you're not making them, at least get some motion, get some penetration.
Shaquille O'Neal with a great pass inside to Shaw. Shaw with 7. Shaw's played well. Fox has played well. Fisher has played well. They always concentrate so much on them. There's Stoudemire slamming the ball in a technical foul. How many times have you used the word unravel with the Portland Trail Blazers this season. You're seeing it firsthand again tonight here in Los Angeles.
You're seeing all the frustration from Dale Davis and Damon Stoudemire all come out from the whole year. They haven't wanted to talk about it. They're saying all the right things throughout the playoffs, but the team chemistry is not good. It's no secret. You talk to each one of the players, and it's been a disaster all year.
They're going to take a break and let Kobe take the shots after the timeout. A deft feed inside with Shaq hitting Shaw. That'll bring a smile to anybody's face. The whole league is talking about the Charlotte-Miami series, and Charlotte shocking the Heat with a 2-game-to-none lead. That'll be tomorrow night exclusively on TNT, followed by Inside the NBA. Then Saturday on TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern, Milwaukee with a 2-games-to-none lead on Orlando, and they'll have their first game down in Florida. And Shaq is at the free throw line. This is the technical, which carries over from Damon Stoudemire right before our break. And he hits it right there. And that makes any father proud. Mr. O'Neal, Sarge.
Well, it should make everybody proud. You got Shaq. Was that a technical foul that he was shooting just then? I mean, who would have thought it?
You know, it was going to be Kobe.
I don't think he'd have been shooting it had they not had the lead by 17 points.
No.
Well, here comes the voice of doom. Let him shoot the tech. That's Shaq.
Kobe Bryant misses the three. Another offensive rebound. Taken by the Los Angeles Lakers. Dropping the anvil, and he gives the Lakers their biggest lead tonight. 32 for O'Neal.
He's played the entire game.
Why would you want to take him out?
43 minutes, you're right, Danny. He's played every minute tonight.
When he's this fresh, I would never take him out either.
Well, that's interesting, Danny. You're absolutely right about his stamina, too, because we saw him early in the year, and he got somewhat tired going up and down the floor. But he's full of energy, his spirits up, and he's playing against a guy that's just as tall and just as heavy as he is, but not as agile or as quick as he is.
He's driving baseline, spin moving, shooting technicals. Shaq's doing it all. He just looks like he's having a blast out there. He's very motivated.
Horace Grant just picked up his third personal foul. Smith inside, knocked away. Kobe Bryant around Pippen, held by Pippen and fouled by Pippen, and down goes Kobe. And that's the rib injury that Pippen said was a fake injury in game one. Bryant does have a tender left rib. Pippen said he was faking. Kobe said, I'm not going to listen to it. He's just trying to get inside my head. And sure enough, on the breakaway, Pippen doing his own physical examination.
Scottie just did a foul that you're supposed to do. Wrap him up. Don't let him get a dunk and a highlight reel on you. Kobe's got a sore rib. Suck it up and go to the free throw line and knock him down. Quit whining.
That's not Kobe who's whining.
See, this is what I was talking about. This is what happened to me when I used to play Magic and Worthy. I used to have to do these all the time. Hold guys to keep from getting a poster made of me.
Let me tell you, Pippen knew exactly where to hit Bryant and where to get him. He knew exactly where to get him. Pippen just got a technical foul. Falling apart now, bit by bit, the Portland Trail Blazers.
Well, he knows that Kobe's got, but he said that Kobe's not hurt. I think he's just grabbing. I don't think he knows exactly where it is.
Not with that right hand, not with that right forearm.
Yeah, he came in later and got it.
He knew. He's too smart. Another technical foul. And this is called on the Blazers again, and Rasheed Wallace picks this one up.
Rasheed's going to go.
Oh, he's gone. Well, someone just got a tee. And Wallace is saying, what did I say? What did I do?
He just keeps going. He has to get the last word every time. Let's say it again. We said this is one of the top 5 players from a talent standpoint in the league. I know the game's over right now and it doesn't matter. But he's got to mature.
Well, as you know, Danny, the game is never over. You still have to act in a professional manner. This is becoming somewhat of a circus right now. It's humiliating enough as to what's going on the court, but you can't start acting and adding insult to injury the way you're doing now out here. This is crazy. They're really disgracing themselves the way they're playing right now, and the way they're acting is even worse.
Unfortunately, Mike Dunleavy, the coach, is going to take his share of the blame for the way this team has fallen apart.
Well, and that's really unfortunate, too, because Mike has established himself as a decent coach. You know, it's no question about his ability to coach the game of basketball, but these guys now have to be held responsible at some point for their own actions out here on the court.
Well, you know, I tell you what, it's sad, too, because not all the players are. Stacey Augmon, Detlef Schrempf, Steve Smith, you know, Scottie Pippen, those guys are professionals. They come out and play the game right and have played that way their whole career. And Greg Anthony's finally getting to come in the game. I mean, another very character guy. So, you know, it's just sad that the display of a couple reflects a whole team and a whole city and a whole organization.
But that, as you know, that's why they call it a team. The thing that I'm concerned with this whole thing is that you look at this, these guys still had an opportunity, Danny, when they started to act crazy like this to win this ball game had they played. They still have an opportunity to go back home and win a ball game. I mean, I just can't understand the actions right now. This is not basketball that's going on out here now.
All 5 technical fouls have been called on the Portland Trail Blazers in this fourth quarter.
I mean, look at the expression on Mike Dunleavy's face right now. He's got to be frustrated with this.
You cannot leave this team intact for next year in this present form.
Well, next year, how about tomorrow?
I'm not sure what they can do with some of the salary cap restrictions they have, but why is Kobe still in this game? That's what I want to know.
They just took Shaq out. Mark Madsen took his place. Shaq is done for the night with his 32-point, 12-rebound performance. He also had 5 assists. He was brilliant. As has Kobe Bryant been brilliant tonight. Kobe Bryant with 23 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds.
And a quiet 20 points. I mean, the guy, they haven't run very much for him. He's just been very unselfish. Let Shaq do his thing.
Rick Fox has been great, too, with his 19 points. Foul called inside. It's on the Los Angeles Lakers. 4:16 to play in the fourth. Basket will count. Sabonis will be at the line as we now make it Augmon at the free throw line. Craig Sager, what do you have?
Well, I have a very disgusted assistant coach by the name of Tim Gergerich. He went into the back when both Rasheed Wallace and Dale Davis were ejected. There was a local cameraman in there who had a camera in the face of the 2 players. They started to get into a fight with the cameraman. Gergerich came in there, broke that up, had some terse words for both players, sent them into the locker room, and then came back very disgusted on the bench. I asked what he talked to him about. He just shook his head in disgust. Kevin?
It's disgraceful.
Well, it's very disgraceful. Players say so much about wanting to be treated as men and professionals. They have a responsibility to act as such. You can't put that burden totally on a coach because most coaches don't have that kind of control. These players have got to understand that this is the profession which they represent, and this is absolutely ridiculous what we're seeing right now.
Foul went on Augmon for the 2nd time. But, Danny, here is a team, as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, with the most playoff experience of any team among the 16 that are still alive, yet they play like they have no composure and no resiliency to any kind of conflict on the floor.
And this hasn't been the case. Last year and the year before, this team got along pretty well. I tell you what, it just through all the transactions that happened this year, you know, Brian Grant, the heart and soul, the crowd favorite in Portland, somebody that the fans could really relate to. Greg Anthony, we've talked about him a lot tonight, and Stacey Augmon. These guys aren't even getting a chance to play, and they've been such big parts of the team in the past. And then, you know, bringing in Rod Strickland midstream and Detlef Schrempf coming out of retirement midstream. All these things that have happened, they've affected the chemistry. And every time we've done a game and I've talked to the players, you can tell. And they try to hide it and they try to pretend, but it's real.
And I think, actually, Danny, when they lost Bonzi Wells, that was the straw that broke the camel's back because Bonzi was dependent on so much in crucial situations to go to. He was so offensively oriented and could erase so many mistakes with his offensive ability. But it is very difficult for any coach with all the emotional experiences that Dunleavy has had to encounter this year to hold this group together, and particularly on such a short notice before the playoffs.
Fox picked up the foul. Will Perdue will be checking in just a second for the Portland Trail Blazers. Bryant is gone. Fisher is gone. Fisher played great tonight. 9 points for Fisher, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Teron Lue will take his place. His free throw, Devin George with the rebound. So Kobe Bryant is gone, 8 of 11 from the field in a 25-point performance. He had 28 points in game 1. Rick Fox has played a great game tonight for LA as well. George.
I think Chick Hearn has put this one in the fridge.
That's what he'd say. That is tapped in. It'll look like Devin George from tiny Division III Augsburg.
I'll give that to Mark. Give that basket to Mason.
Madsen.
Madsen, yeah.
You're out of control. 104-79. Lakers on top. A third foul has just been charged on Shaw. And let's take a look at the Emmy Award-winning drama that's coming to TNT.
Coming this June, get caught up in the Emmy Award-winning drama, Law and Order, Tuesdays at 8 on TNT.
June 5th to TNT comes Law and Order, something that the Portland Trail Blazers could use right now. A little law and certainly a ton of order. Shaq resting on a 32-point performance tonight. But I like the 5 assists, John. I thought that was fun to watch him throwing to other guys and setting up his teammates.
Well, and particularly early in the game, when the game was a competitive game, he did a great job of threading the needle and throwing passes. I think Kobe deserves a lot of credit, too, because he didn't press early in the game. He let Shaq get off, build up his confidence, and that's one of the things that he had been criticized for early in the year.
George. It's a 2-point shot by Devin George, which builds the Laker lead to 106-81. He's got 6 all in this fourth quarter.
Devin George is a nice young talent, and I think that he's got a chance to develop into a nice player for this Laker team down the road.
Anthony the Miss, Will Perdue, who has 4 championship rings, 1 with San Antonio, 3 with the Chicago Bulls, grabbed the rebound. A whistle and a foul blown on George for a second time tonight. And a timeout. Blazers thought this was the most important game of the season. They didn't play like it. They're getting blown away in Los Angeles. Well, it's a heck of a way to celebrate your 200th career playoff game. But as you take a look at the American Express leaderboard, Scottie Pippen tonight, number 2, and back of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then an obscure number 3 entrant in Danny Ainge with 193 postseason games. That's really an accomplishment.
It just means I played on a lot of good teams, but Scottie Pippen played a good game tonight, but I know he's frustrated and embarrassed by how the rest of his team played. But he came out, attacked aggressively, had a few flashbacks early in the first half. Just couldn't get anybody to jump on his back with him.
Well, a loss is one thing, John, but it's another to be humiliated, and that's exactly what the Portland Trail Blazers have been tonight.
Well, and I feel bad for Mike Dunleavy. I mean, you have a coach, at a disadvantage. There's nothing he can do. These are men, these are adults. This is a profession that they chose. This almost borders on being embarrassing. You're in a playoff game.
2.5 to play in the game. The Los Angeles Lakers will travel to the Pacific Northwest with a 2-game-to-none lead. And the Blazers facing elimination when they play this Sunday. Devin George guarded by Ogden. Rebound by Steve Smith. And the final 2 minutes as the crowd here in the what was a sold-out Staples Center begins to leave. Watching their Lakers again shred the Portland Trail Blazers.
It'll be interesting to see if they even have Dale Davis for game 3, though. That's an iffy one.
Ogden. Rebound by George. What would you do, Danny?
Well, I don't know what the rules say. I mean, if they see on the film that he definitely made contact in the neck and this doesn't count as the 1-game suspension, which I don't think it counts, I think he'll be suspended for a game.
And here comes Lou. Craig, what do you have?
I've been spending time talking with Bob Whitsitt, the president and general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers. I asked him what he thought of his team's performance tonight. He said, I thought they came out to play. I said, what about when they unraveled? He said, well, I think they were fighting to try to win this game. I said, are you embarrassed by the way they have played tonight? He said, I don't want to comment on that. I said, are you frustrated about the way they played? He said, I don't want to comment about that. I said, you sit here and watch what you thought was a good team, putting a lot of time, effort, and money in, unraveling, the chemistry not good. He said, well, right now the playoffs aren't over. I would rather not answer that question until they are. Kevin?
All right, Craig, thank you. And thank you for that update on Bob Whitsitt. Look at that. I don't know if it's the play you got to be embarrassed about or your conduct.
Speaking of embarrassed.
What was that?
That was an air ball right there from the free throw line.
So add insult to injury. But, I mean, you're talking about the actions, too. Everybody has played poorly at any contest that you're involved in, but your reaction to it is your responsibility as a professional athlete. You don't want to be out there. You don't want to look bad. But once things fall apart, you've got to be under control.
Ron Lou picked up by Stacey Augmon. But, you know, the problem is about trying to change this Blazer team. Of course, there is one more game to go, maybe even more for the Blazers. An outside three put in by Shrimp. Is, Danny, they've got so many guaranteed contracts. I mean, what movement can they possibly have?
Well, I don't know. That's going to be a tough deal. But, you know, I think, obviously, Bob Whitsitt answered the questions. He just doesn't – he needs to support his team. But by not answering Craig's questions, he answered them.
Sometimes silence makes the most noise. and definitely, I mean, hey, these guys may feel so low about this. Who knows? They may come back and win this series.
They certainly have the talent to do so. There's no doubt about that. For more on this discussion, tune in Inside the NBA with the crew as Greg Anthony hits a shot.
The only way they win it is if the Lakers don't show up to play. Lakers have too much talent for them. And unless they get Greg Anthony in the game and he gets hot.
I'm glad we can find something to laugh about.
The Lakers are rollicking all the way to their Game 2 victory tonight over the Portland Trail Blazers. Kobe Bryant with a big night, 25 points and 7 assists. Scottie Pippen played well. He had 21. But he was a one-man show for the Blazers, who had 2 players ejected. No surprise in Rasheed Wallace, the other a frustrated Dale Davis. 5 technicals in the fourth quarter alone on the Blazers. And now let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, after game 1, the Portland Trail Blazers complained about the way you were playing. They also sent videotapes edited to the league saying this is not the way they should be calling the game against Shaquille O'Neal. What was your reaction and what was your focus and message tonight?
Well, I just wanted to come in and, you know, play like I've been playing. I've been taught and programmed to, when I get the ball down low, you're going to either foul me or you're going to block my shot. Not too many people can block my shot. And, you know, it just seems funny to me last year when I wasn't shooting that well, but we're going to foul them every time. And I haven't changed my game one bit, and I'm not going to change my game now. I still haven't put together a complete game like I would have liked to. You know, I shot the ball well, but I didn't do well from the line like I've been doing. So I'm still kind of upset, and I'm looking to put together a complete game. Shaquille O'Neal is not going to change his game.
You mentioned the line. A technical was called. You got to shoot a technical foul shot. Did you feel any pressure saying, oh my gosh, they're getting all this into me, I got to make this shot?
Even though I wasn't shooting well from the line, you know, I had a couple, you know, knick-knack shots, but I told Phil, let me shoot the tech. And he was gracious enough to let me shoot the tech. And, you know, I just went up, shot it, you know, felt good, and it went in.
This playoff series began. Everybody talking about 2 very talented teams. Too bad one of them is not going to advance to the playoffs. We see a team down 0-2 that's unraveled. They've lost their cool, poor conduct on the floor. Are you surprised, and what's your reaction?
We just did what we were supposed to do, and that's win all our home games. Now we have to go up to a tough Portland place and just win one game up there.
Everybody talks about how you get hacked, you get hit, yet you keep your cool. At one point, however, Coach Thompson said, they've been hitting him everywhere. Why is he holding his head? Is that why you have the towel on?
This is my 9th year in the league. Last year I was on a mission, and my mission was complete by me winning a ring, and I'm still on a mission. I mean, I'm not going to let cheap shot or artist shot to take me out the game. There's no way to stop me.
Well, you got a lot of fans. Your father's over here. Sergeant Harrison? I saw at one point, Shaq made an unbelievable dunk. He pointed in the stands to you. What did you think of his performance tonight?
Great. Great player in the NBA to date. Not the best, though, but he's great to the day. He's the best player today.
Yes, he is. What do you think about the performance, though, about the team, compared to the way the conduct was handled by Portland?
Sorry?
What do you think about the way they handled themselves against Portland?
Like a championship team supposed to. Take their time, play team basketball, so let them rattle them, play good ball. Go inside and go back outside. Work as a team, not one-on-one. Great team. They're going to win it this year.
He always listens to you. What do you tell him at this time of year?
Play tough. Play tough and play smart. Always thinking on the court. That's what he does. Always thinking on the court.
And that's from this. Those are the words from the sergeant. Congratulations. Let's go back to Kevin.
Nice. Father and son with a victory hug after a great performance from Shaquille O'Neal. 32 points. And with it now, Los Angeles with a 2-0 lead over the unraveling Portland Trail Blazers. Once again, our final score, 106-88. The Lakers win it. For John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Craig Sager, our producer Mike Burks, our director Lonnie Dale, associate directors Rodney Vaughn, Bernardo Lowe, and our entire TNT crew. Kevin Harlan saying goodnight from Los Angeles. The defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers have won 10 consecutive games dating back to the regular season. After a quick break, Ernie and the crew bring you up to date on this game and more on Inside the NBA. Good night from Los Angeles.